Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 2 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 2 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter unit of measurement. The lessons we're going to cover today are which metric unit of length is appropriate, metric unit of length word problems, which metric unit of weight is appropriate, which metric unit of volume is appropriate. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 2 math. Chapter we're on right now is units of measurement. L- Let's start with the lesson that is which metric unit of length is appropriate. Which is a better estimate for the height of a door? 3 meters, basically we are given two of the options, 3 meters or 3 centimeters. So the centimeters are too short, it would be 3 meters. Let's just start with the test questions. Basically, we're going to the units of length, right? How do we measure the how do we measure the length? Which is a better estimate for the length of a dolphin? That is, the options you are given is 2 centimeter or 2 meter. Centimeter is a smaller unit and meter is a bigger unit. So dolphin is longer in length, so it would be 2 meters. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which is a better estimate for the height of a door? 3 meters, 3 centimeters, which is the correct option. It would be 3 centimeters because 3 meters is too long for the height of the door. Oh, that is 3 meters, sorry. 3 meters it is. Which is a better estimate for the length of mouse tail? Which is the better estimate for the length of the mouse tail? It would be 8 centimeter because 8 meter is too tall for the tail. Which is the better estimate for the height of a 5-story building? So it is a 5-story building. It must be too tall. Centimeter is a smaller unit, right? The longer lengths we measure in meters, so it would be 60 option. Which is a better estimate for the length of a paintbrush? The paintbrush would be not that much long, so it would be 23 centimeters. Option number 2 is the correct. Which is a better estimate for the length of a car key? Which is a better estimate for the length of a car key? So the car key would be 6 centimeter because 6 meters is too long for the length of the car key. Which is a better estimate for the length of a car? 5 meters, 5 centimeters. Which is the better estimate for the length of a car? So it is the car. It would be 5 meters, right? Option number one, correct option. Which is a better estimate for the length of a parking space? Which is that the parking space must be 6 meters. Option number two is the correct option because that is usually a. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is metric unit of length word problem. In Billy's garden, the basil plant is 17 centimeter tall. The zucchini plant is 1 centimeter taller than the basil plant. How many centimeter tall is zucchini plant? So we need to find the length of the zucchini plant, right? The basil plant is the zucchini is 1 centimeter taller, right? You need to add 1 to 17, so it makes 18. The correct option is 18. Let's just start with the test questions. Tracy's school bus is 12 meters long. Pamela's bus is 4 meters shorter than Tracy's. How many meters long is Pamela's school bus? Bus is 12-meter long. Pamela's school bus is 4 meters shorter. Shorter it is. You need to subtract 4 out of it. So 12 take away. That means the length of the Pamela's school bus is 8. The correct option is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. The piece of silver ribbon is 13 centimeter long. The piece of green ribbon is 1 centimeter shorter than the piece of silver ribbon. The piece of red ribbon is centimeter longer than the silver. Given the length of the silver ribbon is 13. Longer than the piece of red ribbon is 4 centimeter centimeter longer. Actually, the question is long is the piece of red ribbon. So you need to add 4 to 3. So 13 plus 4 makes 17. It is option number 1 is the correct option, that is 17. Given's ladder is 12 meters tall. Dale's ladder is 7 meter shorter than Given's. Taylor's ladder is 2 meter taller than Given's. Who has the shortest ladder? We need to find the one who has shortest. Given ladder is 12 meter tall. Dale's ladder is 7 meters shorter. So the Dale's is 12 minus 7, that is 5. Ladder is 2 meter taller. So that means the Dale's, because the Dale's ladder is shorter than everyone. So that is Dale. Option number 3 is the correct option. Scarlett's mouse is 17 centimeter long. Eric's mouse is 1 centimeter longer than Scarlett's. Jennifer's mouse is 4 centimeters shorter than Scarlett's. Which mouse is shorter than 16? It would be Jennifer's, because the Eric's is 1 meter longer. So it would be 17 plus 1 is 18. The Jennifer's mouse is 4 meters shorter. So 16 minus 4 is 12. So that would be the Jennifer's mouse, that is less than correct option. Kim's school bus is 16 meters long. Akash bus is 6 meters shorter than Kim's. How many meters long is Akash school bus? It is 6 meters shorter. So you need to subtract out of the Kim's school bus length. 6 is 10. The correct option is 10. Number 1 is the option. Bob's paintbrush is 18 centimeter long. Oliver's paintbrush is 1 centimeter shorter than Bob's. Who has longer paintbrush? It would be Bob. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's move on to next lesson. The next lesson is which unit of weight is appropriate. Which is a better estimate for the weight of a toothbrush? It would be 17 grams. Let's just start with the test questions. Which is a better estimate for the weight of a robin? Weight of a robin. That is 50 grams. Option 1 is the correct option. Which is the better estimate for the weight of a chicken? 2 kilograms or 2 grams? That is 2 kilograms. 2 grams is too little for the weight of the chicken. Kilograms. It is the better estimate for the weight of a backpack full of bags. It would be 11 kilograms because it is full of the books. Which is the better estimate for the weight of a piece of candy corn? The candy corn would be 2 grams because 2 kilograms is too much for the piece of candy corn. Which is a better estimate for the weight of a crayon? 6 grams, 6 kilograms. It must be 6 grams. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which is the better estimate for the weight of a skateboard? 4 kilograms or 4 grams? It must be 4 kilograms because skateboard heavy. Which is a better estimate for the weight of a raisin? It would be 2 grams. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which is a better estimate for the weight of a coffee table? Which is a better estimate for the weight of a coffee table? It would be 12 kilograms. Okay, you can calculate it today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is, which metric unit of volume is appropriate? Which is a better estimate for the volume of a blender? 2 liters is the best estimate. 2 milliliters is little. So the blender volume of the blender would be 2 liters. Let's just start with the test questions. Which is the better estimate for the volume of a test tube? It would be 13 milliliters. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which is the better estimate for the volume of a blender? It would be 2 liters. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which is a better estimate for the volume of a grocery bag? The grocery bag would be 3 milliliters. Option number 2 is the which is the better estimate for the volume of a mustard packet? The mustard packet would be 16 liters. Option number 2 is the correct option. Oh, that is 16 milliliters. Which is a better estimate for the volume of a coffee pot? Coffee pot would be 2 liters. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which is the better estimate for the bottle of for the for a, of a shampoo bottle? So which is the correct option? Shampoo bottle would be 1 liter. Option number two is the correct option. Which is a better estimate for the volume of a thimble? It would be 2 ml. Option number two is the correct option. Which is the better estimate for the volume of an eyedropper? Which is the better estimate? It would be 5 ml. 5 liters is too much for the eyedropper. The volume of the cereal box would be 3 liters. Option number one is the correct option. Which is a better estimate for the volume of a kitchen sink? So it would be 18 liters. Option number two is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 2 math chapter. We were working on is unit of measurement. The lessons we have covered today are which metric unit of length is appropriate, metric unit of length word problem, which metric unit of weight is appropriate, which metric unit of volume is appropriate. So please for the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So, any questions you can please. questions? Okay, then that's all for